Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. I died somewhere yesterday. I just don't remember where. Well, yesterday. It's not gonna have been. It wasn't yesterday for you. Can I hit him at least once? Fair enough. I should have probably watched back my own episode, but I don't know. I do have to admit the game is slightly growing on me gameplay-wise, or at least it's hard to say. It looks a lot nicer than Dark Souls, so the whole character customization actually feels worthwhile, I guess. For example, I really like the looks of this armor set. It's not very heavy armor, so chances are I'll have to eventually swap it out for another one. And I don't think the sorceress can actually reach me here, which I always found that odd. Okay. Still don't remember where I died. Maybe at the chest? Oh yeah, that's where I died. Okay, so first things first, open this. Apparently the chest got broken. Oh well, I don't think there was anything very useful in it anyway. Now, here's another one of those guards. You can actually poison them, or I guess get them to poison themselves, but okay, how about you come down? This guy always used to get me. Okay, let me drink. This item over there, I don't think I even really need it. It's kind of a pain to get, but I'll try it. At least once or twice. Ah, I'm poisoned. Okay, eat some poison moss, pop a life gem, and we're fine. Okay. The jump back is actually a bit harder. And that really wasn't worth it. Okay, well that worked out. And now, can I destroy this railing? I can. Nice. And here we meet an old friend, I guess. So, dialogue time.
We went through a lot together. Take this as a token of our friendship. Don't be shy. They were meant for you. Well, we meet again. There's treasure this way, but I have a bad feeling about it. I don't quite have the guts myself. Well, there's treasure that I don't quite have the...
Okay. So that wasn't as much dialogue as I had expected, to be honest. What's this way even? Oh. I think this is a spell? Maybe? Yeah, great heavy soul arrow. You can jump over there to that item as well, but I think it's just a soul item or something completely useless at any rate. I know I spent a lot of attempts, 6 or 7 at some point in my first playthrough. Trying to get it, and then when I finally did manage, it was really disappointing. No! Accidentally rolled forward. I meant to roll sideways to avoid the arrow. Okay, there we go. Now there is an enemy behind this chest. I wonder, can he get up here? Probably he can, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you don't have a ranged option for that guy, I suggest dropping down on this side. And as you approach, he'll get up and kind of jump over the chest and you'll be able to fight him. That way you're further away from the chest and you can't accidentally destroy it. Doesn't contain anything super good, but if you want the pike, I guess that's where you can get it. And it puts us right here. Ugh. Who's this? Oh, Scarlet. Okay. I was worried for a second that I might have accidentally been playing online, which I really don't want to do. Okay, no. This might be where I die. Yep. Oh well. It's kind of close to the bonfire, and I dislike this bit where the 2 of those guys jump down. One of them is fine, you just have to block through their combos, otherwise you're toast. But as soon as it's 2 of them, you kind of lose the ability to just block through their combos. Okay, well I have tons of those human effigies anyway. They're not as rare as humanity was in the first game. Okay, I'm just pulling this guy. Nice. And now for the next bit, which is tedious. Incidentally, these are the guys that killed me last time. And I have once managed to pull them separately, I believe. But I might be misremembering. But if it's possible, it's difficult, at any rate. Now, what we can do... Oh, hit the A button, not the B button. That would be a start. We can actually make our way towards the boss, I think. There's some items we still have left to get, but I think actually, as I said, the item... Well, let me deal with these guys first, then I'll show you. And finally you. Otherwise these guys would just be a kind of... Wondering if I can actually get you with this. Ah. I think they have quite small hitboxes. It's possible to get them with a trap, but it's not the easiest thing in the world, basically. I think that guy has super range again. Like, well, everyone. That gal over there, however, does not. I think we might get an invasion here. Oh, darn. Yeah, oh darn. That's oh damn and oh darn in combination. Oh darn. I think they kind of overdid it with all the poison jars in this area. It just feels like so much tedium to just fight here. And now we can finally avenge ourselves for having had fireballs thrown at us through the early sections outside the actual castle windmill structure. Because this lady, you can see down there's those two big guys in the poison area, and there's the bridges, and you can even see the hammer guy, kinda. He's just under where it says Estes plus 2. He's kinda small, so it might be difficult to see if you're not in full screen mode, but yeah. That's the area we approached from. And she was the one throwing fireballs at us from all the way up here. We could now respawn at the bonfire 10 or 12 times. I keep thinking it's 12, but another guy I play with who knows the game, he keeps saying it's 10. I think he's probably right, because he knows the game a lot better than I do. So if I say kill them 12 times so they stop respawning, chances are it's actually 10 times. It's just somehow I've got 12 stuck in my head, so it's just difficult to get rid of at this point. Anyway, the point is, we could now respawn enough times and kill her, so that she doesn't come back, and then we'd be able to traverse the outside area without having fireballs thrown at us. But there's really no reason to, because we're kind of done with the outside area anyway. Just attempting to break these pots. Well, not attempting. The breaking of the pots is not difficult. And you. Come along, come along. I think we've seen these guys in No Man's Wharf as well. I think they're called Suspicious Shadows or something like that. In the base game, from what I can gather from the wiki, they only appeared in New Game Plus. But they're not that difficult, so really I don't... I don't mind that they appear in New Game now. Okay, that's where we would go to the boss, by the way, behind these two guard guys. Which, funnily enough, you can pull these separately, and it's not even difficult. Everywhere else in the game, when enemies are that close together, or even when enemies are miles apart, you can only get them as a team. And here, suddenly, no, you can pull these guys separately, it's fine. We don't care. And I really don't know why. I mean, it would be completely typical that before a boss fight there's two guards standing there and you can only get them together. Every other boss fight that's kind of similar, or, well, I can think of one other boss fight, or two I guess, that have a bunch of guards standing before the fog gate. And in those instances, you always pull all of them. And there is a reason I'm smashing all these pots. It's not just mindless vandalism. We are about to have an encounter in here. And the invasion, I said might happen. It might happen, I didn't make that up, and I'm not wrong on that. It's just, it's random, basically. It can happen, but it doesn't have to. We would be attacked by, I think, the Forlorn, and those are random invasions. Activating this Lockstone, I believe it only gives you healing water. It kind of flows from the mouth or the eyes, or I don't know, something anyway, and you can kind of stand in it and get healed. Now this here, this is a chest that has a lock on it, which is the visual indicator that it's a mimic. You can also kind of see it's slightly ajar, just a tiny bit, and you can kind of see teeth. I think I'll wait here for a moment. I think eventually they start yawning or breathing. But this is a mimic. I'll just wait and see if anything actually happens. Might have to give it, I don't know, maybe a minute. That's how long I'll wait. About a minute. I know that they have some kind of idle animation. I can't hear any breathing, but then I don't have the volume that high. So maybe I'm just not having it set loud enough to hear it. But yeah, I think the locks are a good indicator. The nasty thing they did in this game is that you can actually destroy wooden chests. So, and there are still wooden chest mimic. Iron chests can also be mimics, but so can wooden chests. Can also be mimics. Don't know if I phrased that correctly. And the way it on the one hand, they discourage you from hitting chests because you could break them. On the other hand, they encourage you to hit them because they might be mimics. So I don't know. They also changed the way mimics look, which I'm not too fond of. I think they were nicer. In Dark Souls 1, the mimics were kind of very humanoid. I mean, they weren't human by any stretch of the imagination. They had those really thin, long arms and legs, and that symbol of avarice on their head. They didn't look human at all, but they were humanoid. They looked more like a twisted version of humanity. And now they just kind of look, I don't know, funny. Doing that kind of, I don't know, spider walk thing. It doesn't work for me. I think it's kind of silly the way it looks. And up here we have a bonfire. Now, I will need to deal with those two guys. There's actually some kind of crawly things on the ground as well. These things, but they're not an issue. And see? You can just get him separately from the other guard and... It's so strange that in this particular instance they would make it so you can get them separately, whereas in every other similar instance in the game, you could only get them as a group. Oh. Well, I had tried to go for a backstab, but... I don't think backstabs are more difficult or more easy than they were in Dark Souls 1. It's just they work slightly differently, so that means if you're really used to one system, you'll have a bit of a problem getting the backstabs in the other system. Yeah, let's get Jester Thomas, why not? Incidentally, if you hadn't burned that windmill, then this entire floor section here would be covered in poison. That's where... I don't know what you just did, Jester, but don't do it again. Yeah, you basically have poison coming out from down here, and that would just be a pool of poison in front of this, and that would also mean you couldn't see these guys here, because they would be covered in the poison, making it a bit more annoying to get to the boss. And another issue, I guess, would be that the boss room would be covered entirely in poison, not just the kind of outer rim of it. And the reason that's annoying is that this boss heals when she's standing in poison. You can see when she's standing in the poison, there's kind of a green fiery effect thing on her chest. And that means she's healing herself. Now this boss is actually really easy, because you get Jester Thomas, and Jester Thomas is a pyromancer, and she is really weak to fire. So if you're struggling with the boss, I guess bring the Drang Lake Shield, because it blocks 100% physical, and not all of her attacks are physical, but at least a lot of them. So this way you can really tank fairly well what she throws at you, and you just let Jester Thomas do the work, as I'm doing right now. I'm not really doing any damage. I just wanted the killing blow. But they did this for a lot more bosses than in Dark Souls 1, where summoning seems really useful, maybe even essential to defeating the boss. We will certainly come across some bosses in this game, actually one that's coming up fairly soon, that I will not even attempt to kill solo. It will be done as a team effort. Now, this is one of the things that really, really destroys immersion for me. You might remember we entered this place, and it was a mill, castle thing, a structure, standing by itself. And we've ascended to the top of it, defeated a boss, and now we take an elevator further up. A really slow elevator to hide loading screens. Which it's typical for games like these to, well, games that have an open world but without loading screens, they don't load the entire world, so they tend to hide the fact that they're loading the next area by letting you walk through an elevator, for example. I think Mass Effect 1 did that quite a bit as well. Anyway, we've just gone up a fairly long elevator. And now we're in a lava castle area, which just doesn't make much sense. We're in Iron Keep. So it's kind of not been very long. Let me see, what do I want to spec actually? I mean, I sort of want to respec. But I only have one soul vessel at this point. You know what I'll do? First I'll travel to Majula. And where's my fair lady? Bearer seeks Seeklest. Watching Yahtzee Crowshaw's playthrough of this during his Drown Out series, and he's getting quite upset at the fact that she keeps repeating her dialogue as well. It's all this bearer, lest, blah blah blah. Okay. I am speccing intelligence not because I actually want to use it, but because I need to be able to talk to Straight. Consumable souls, I might have enough. But then I might not. I don't really want to try. I probably do have enough to get another level up, but who cares? Yeah, I wanted to get to the crows. Probably better to go from the other bonfire. And I'll take a sip of coffee. I don't really want to start on Iron Keep just yet. And Iron Keep is actually where we'll be meeting the next of the Great Souls. Which, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter which order you do it in, it's just the one I've chosen. The Iron King himself is not that difficult. Getting to him, there are some tedious sections. And it just feels quite a few times like, I don't know, you're just meant to die, and I don't like that. Now one thing that they changed, which is really good, is that you can now use multiple souls in one go. I think I've shown you that before. But instead of thinking, okay, so we've done that for souls, let's expand that kind of thinking to any other consumable or any other item that you might repeatedly want to perform an action with. Instead of just doing that, they kind of made it so that for most other items you can't do that. So for example, Covenant items. You might remember in Dark Souls 1 when you did the Chaos Covenant, you had to hand in 30 humanity one by one. So you had to go into the menu, say offer humanity, and it would give her, the Covenant leader, one of your humanity. And you would think, having done the multiple soul thing, they would give you the option of saying, you know, hand over 30 humanity or whatever it is. Random Covenant items in this game, they work very similar. So let's say, I don't know, do I have anything that I could show? I don't really. There's the tokens of Fidel. No, I don't think you can. Anyway, let's just say Dragon Scales. So you've farmed a bunch of those and you want to hand them in to gain ranks in the Covenant. It doesn't say, you know, hand in 50 or hand in all of them or choose how many you want to hand in. It's, again, one at a time. And same with dropping stuff for, I think, Dina and Tilo? Crimson Water, Faint Stone, Human Effigy. So you need to leave them one at a time. If you leave a stack of 7, or anything more than 1, they won't recognize it. So yeah, 1 step forward, 1 step backward, or I guess in that case 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. Okay, we got the Channeler's Trident and some Twinkling Titanite. The Channeler's Trident is kind of funny. I think it still has the dance animation. I'll check it out. Can I actually equip it? I can. It's not even an intelligence weapon. I'm not sure if it ever was, to be honest. Okay, that's the R1. That's the R2. Yeah, still works. One of the more hilarious animations from Dark Souls 1. And let's get back to the Hade Knight Sword. Which I could upgrade twice more. I'm just not convinced I want to do it because I'm really contemplating dropping the whole faith thing. It just doesn't work out. On the other hand, I think I'll keep it for the moment, at least. It's still... I have 22 faith. I don't want to respec just yet because I'm thinking of kind of going for a hybrid build and doing melee but also some hexes, which that does work. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.